This call is now being recorded.
Miss Sadil isn't here,
Miss
isn't it?
Sadil is
He left.
like,
Oh, okay. I think there's some issue with the internet, maybe. Okay, so when it comes to the DOM element, DOM is a programming interface for web development. Okay, Jugal, I think we can wait for a few minutes. Enough. Do you have any problem or anything you want to ask regarding the last lecture?
No.
Okay. Did you get the concept how the JavaScript will look like in future, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so now when it comes to the DOM means actually the space that we see when we load a particular browser, right? So when we load a browser, we see a lot of things. So whatever we see on the browser, that part is called a DOM. So DOM is also divided in a different element, attribute, text like this. So this tree-like structure allow program, typically JavaScript, to interact with and manipulate the document structure, style, and content dynamically. That means you can able to use the JavaScript to change some of the content in HTML, as well as you can also use the JavaScript to change the style of your HTML as well. Okay, so that's the thing they're saying, that when it comes to JavaScript, they can able to manipulate all these things. So now comes to the tree structure. So when it comes to the tree structure, the document node, which is considered as the root of the tree, representing the entire document, right? If you are creating any of the web pages, if you have 3 or 4 files, right? Whole file is considered as the entire document, which is document node. Now comes to element node, which is represent element, div, para, h, or whatever the tag you will use. That one is considered as element node. Text node is whatever the text that you will add inside each of the tag. Then comes to attribute nodes. Attribute node means, I think you are familiar with it, right? Which is when it comes to class, ID, source, all considered as an attribute nodes. Now comes to programmatic access. So developer can use JavaScript to access and manipulate the DOM. For example, they can able to select a certain element and modify it. Okay, they can also select a certain attribute or as well as style, and they can also modify, as well as they can add some new class, remove or rearrange the elements in the document. So now what JavaScript can do, they can able to modify the HTML element. They can also add class. They can also add ID inside the tag name, inside the tag, okay? And then they can also changes or modify the style as well. So dynamic update. Changes to the DOM are immediately reflected in the browser's rendering of the pages. So if you remember, like when you are working with the HTML, right? The browser actually are not automatically updating everything. We need to reload the HTML page 2 or 3 times, then it is showing you all the information. But when it comes to JavaScript, it does everything automatically. If you added a little bit code, if you change something, everything you can able to see on the browser. Now comes to event handling. Event handling means when you click over a certain mouse, right? If you move your mouse up and down, there's a hover reaction came up, similar like that. Adi, do you have any question or anything you want to ask regarding the last lecture? Did you go through the notes? Anything which is not clear yet?
yes, I've gone through them,
Adi?
and no,
Little bit
yeah,
clear, is it?
yes,
Okay. So I think if you are in like out of 100, if you guys get 30%, it's okay, right? You will able to get this one little by little. Now, this is one of the code example. I think you are familiar with this part, is it? This one, see, in the body, we added the div, right? So div, this is actually the HTML one, right? Now we added a script. So you can either add the script in the head as well as you can also add the script in the body as well. But we will mostly try to, most of the time, we need to add the script in the body, below the body. Why? Because when a particular web pages is loaded, when a particular web page is loaded, right, we try to load this one first, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Then this code is loaded, right? So it's follow the line number. So this one will load, this one will load, this one will load. But sometimes what happens when we do the coding, some of the features we need to load before the HTML code. Sometimes some of the features came out that some of the features you need to load the JavaScript code first, then you wanted to load your HTML code. During that time, we will use the script to the header part. Okay, and this one is an example of a internal JavaScript. Same like internal CSS, we're using internal JavaScript. We can also use external JavaScript as well, similar like CSS. Okay, so here we can able to see that there is a 3 div, right? So which is my ID class and the class similar like that. So we already learned that by using JavaScript, we can able to modify the HTML element, as well as we can also modify the style, as well as we can also add some class ID tag of everything like that, right? So we can able to do a lot of modification by using the JavaScript. So now we will see all these changes in a VS Code. I think you all have the VS Code, is it?
Yeah.
There is one worksheet. I also uploaded one worksheet. So I think after this class, that one will be homework. See, this is one of the folder that I created where I will write all the JavaScript code. Okay, so I already created a folder. So from here, we can able to create a folder. You can click here, and then you can add a certain folder, and inside you can add some of the pictures like that. So now, because today we will learn a simple. Okay, so today we will. 1 minute. We will start to learn some basic thing. So we will add the JS inside the HTML. So that's why it's a HTML file. And then we have the doc type. This one represents the version. This one is the language, right? This is the English language. And then we have head. Inside the head, we add some of the metadata, which is the viewport of the web pages. Like it will take the 100% of the scale. And then it comes to UTF-8. So this is basically their transform the code to a certain language, so that certain code, so that our computer or our browser can able to understand, right? So that one is UTF-8 code. Now comes with the body. So when it comes to the body, suppose I wanted to add some code here, which is div, right? And the div, then I wanted to add my ID. So the my ID, I need to add the my ID inside the attribute. So here I will add, sorry, I need to add like this. My ID. Then I will add this. This is a div ID. Okay. So this one is done. Now I want to add the JavaScript. So I already mentioned we can either add the JavaScript at the below of the body, as well as we can also add it in the header, but mostly preferable to add here. Script. Okay. So when we will add the JavaScript here, we can able to, this one will load first to the browser, then our JavaScript code will be loaded. But if you add the script to head, then our JavaScript code will load before than the HTML code. So that's the difference. So that's why most of the time when we do the works, we need to add the JavaScript code below the HTML, right? So we first need to load the HTML page, then we wanted to load the JavaScript code. So now what I want to do, I just wanted to maybe, because this one is showing this is a div. So if I run this one, so this is the thing that we can able to see, which is this is a div with an ID, right? So now I wanted to change information from here. I wanted to make it maybe hello world or something. So I just wanted to change it. So how I can do it? So which means when it comes to DOM element, right? All the element in this screen, whatever you can see in this space, that one is called DOM. So in terms of JavaScript, we called this one as a document. Okay. So document dot, then we will add get element, because this one is an ID, right? So we will add get element by ID. Then we need to add this particular, ID. So we will add this one, okay? And then I will add, so this one is giving me the suggestion. This one, okay? So I added the my ID. So these two need to be similar. So what I will do, we will need to click here double time so that it can show that, okay, both are the same name. Now we need to add, if we wanted to add the text inside the element, there we have to add one of the code. That one is called inner HTML, okay? And then when I add quotation, I must need to add quotation, and then we will add hello world. After we save it, we can able to see it changes to hello world. Now, is this one clear? How it works? Now see, if I again remove the HTML code, comment it out, okay? Save it. You can see this is a D with an ID, right? Now, when I again run this particular code and I save it, you're gonna be able to see it's a hello world. So that means this inner HTML is one of the reserved JavaScript keyword that we can use to modify the text inside the element. Now, any question?
No, miss.
Is it clear? See,
I have a
during
question. Just
yes,
now,
yes.
just now you turned the script into a comment, right?
Turn the
To
script
like
into
hide
a
it. But you just hided the script for just now when you remove the hello world part.
yes, yes, yes. The thing is that instead of this one, I replace with this one. Okay, so when I again
Can
do
you
the
explain the
comment,
code again?
yes, Anna, I didn't get your point.
Can you explain the code again?
Okay,
Like, what does it mean?
okay, see again I remove this part. Okay, see, if I wanted to get any of the element inside the body, what I have to add, which is I need to add document, right? Document. Then I wanted to target this ID. So when I want to target a certain ID, I need to add get element by ID, right? If you wanted to target any of the ID from the HTML, you need to add dot. Document means we're trying to take the document, this, okay, the web pages. So this, and then we will add, now we want to target this one. Do you remember the class? We use class or maybe ID so that we can able to
Yeah.
target a certain element. So document means whatever will be visible in the body, that one is represented by document. Then we will add dot, and then we will add get element by ID, right? So maybe instead of one, I have 3 or 4 ID right there. So maybe there is a different name, my ID 2. So which ID I want to take? I want to take this particular ID, right? So that's why I will take this one, and then I will add this ID name inside my ID. Then I will add dot inner HTML. So inner HTML means they are targeting this part now. Okay. When I added, like suppose this way, without inner HTML, this could represent they are trying to target this whole element. But I wanted to modify here. So what I will do, dot inner HTML. Okay. Then I add equals to. So dot inner HTML means now you're targeting this portion. Equals to hello world. And when I click on save, then it show you the hello world. Now, Anna, is this one clear or still some?
Yeah, got it. But what is the point of this?
Okay, what is the point of this? Because in our exam, they will give you some of the scenario or some of the code, and they will ask you to change something. Maybe the score, maybe the name, right? So that's why we need to
But it just
understand.
change the name only.
Yes, Anna, I think you have
It
some
just
issue with your head. Yes, yes.
yeah. It just change the name only. Why not just this is a replace it with this div with ID?
This is a ID means.
You wrote hello
ID
world. Instead of writing all this, you can just write it inside the div.
inside the div here.
Yeah.
Okay, that one I can do it, right? That's a different part. But when it comes to JavaScript, the question will ask you to use the JavaScript to modify the text inside the element. I can do it, right?
Okay.
But we need to understand the JavaScript as well. Is it? So this is the, we are starting from the JavaScript. So you can see like when it comes to question paper and even the books, they actually write some of the advanced JavaScript. So they include everything together and they will explain you. So that's why it's a little bit harder. Okay. So we are
Okay.
starting from the basic, right? So the thing that we learn, which is how we can able to modify a text inside an element. Now, this part is clear, is it, Anna?
Yeah.
Okay, so we can able to do it. We can also change it from here as well. You are correct. But we will not do it because now we will not touch anything related to HTML. We will do everything with the JavaScript because we are learning JavaScript. And Adil, do you have any question?
No. The dot inner HTML part is specific for changing the content of the div, right?
Yes, yes,
That's
not the
what
div, not the div. Content of it can be span as well. Okay,
oh,
whatever the
okay.
text inside the text, right? The element text. Okay, you can say okay, content of the div. Yeah, correct. Now, is it clear this part, Adil?
Yes, perfectly clear.
Jubair, is it clear to you?
Yes, miss. Yeah,
Or okay,
it's clear.
now, okay, so now we will move to another part, which is this is a my ID, right? So we did this one with an ID. Now, if I wanted to do the same thing with a class, then how can I be able to do it? With a class. Okay. So when
Get
it comes to
element by class.
yes, correct. So you will add here, we will get some issue. See, so suppose I just commented this code. Okay, then I will add another div here, which is maybe instead of this one, I wanted to add class and then my class. Okay. So now we will add document. Document means the whole thing, right? Document dot get element by class name. Okay, class name. Then they already show you see the class. So I will add the class. And then dot see when I wanted to add dot inner HTML, it is not suggesting me because there is some error here, but we will see what will be the error. Okay, so HTML, and then when I add the hello class, okay, then when I'll save this one, you can able to see that nothing is changes. Why? When we add the ID, right, we can able to see that everything that one is changeable, but when we added the class name, that it is not changeable. Any idea why it is not happening? So
because
if I
class is
class is, yes,
ID is
yes,
something
class.
specific. Because ID is something specific, but class can be shared by many elements or something like that.
No, class is giving you a list. See, when I add 0, right, you can able to see the changes now. So now we will see something in the console. See, for the ID one, right? So what I will do, remember the way we declare a variable? Did you remember the variable one? How we can able to declare a
Yes.
variable? So suppose I want to declare a variable. A var, new var. Maybe I can add new ID. Okay. And then I will add this whole thing to this. I don't want to assign anything. I just wanted to add this particular value to here, right? New ID. What does this mean? Anyone can able to explain to me? Document means the whole space in the body, right? Dot get element my ID means they're targeting the ID. My ID means this ID, is it? And then dot inner HTML means this one, right? So now if you wanted to
Yes.
see what this particular code is actually getting inside this my ID variable, we can use console log here. Console log we mostly use this for debugging purposes, right? See how we added the console log? Console.log first bracket with the new ID, the variable name. Okay, so what we did, first we assign whole the code to the variable and then we try to print the variable. In Python we say it print, but in JavaScript we call it console.log. So this one will be, now you can able to show here, right? So now if I load this one, see, this is a div with an ID. Did you get this one? So we can also add, suppose if you're like, if you are like a little bit confused like how this one is coming, you can add a name, which is console or maybe print bar, or maybe we can add new ID here. So whatever you will add in the quotation, it will show exactly the same word. So see, new ID. This is a div with an ID. So that means this particular variable is holding this portion. Is it? Right?
Yes.
Now, we will do the same thing with class now. Var new class. Okay. So now I will just remove this 0. Okay. The inner HTML I want to remove as well, because I mentioned that when it comes to class, it gives you the number of list wise. Because we are not familiar with array yet, so we can think that, okay, this one is a little bit list wise. I need to add the console, right? So here I need to add the console, which is new plus, and then we will add this variable name to here, right? It will take a little bit time to understand this variable to here. So that means this particular console log can able to print this one. Now when I go here, see, it provide you a HTML collection, right? So when it comes to class, it gives you the collection, right? New class. See, the new class came up with the collection. But if you look into the ID, they directly give you the name of the element. But here, they give you the collection. So if you move to the first collection, which is 0, there you will able to get the text. This is a div, see, inner HTML, right? So what you have to do, we need to write here, which is 0. We need to target 0 first here. So that's why what we did, 0 and then dot. When we want to target the next one, we need to add dot inner HTML. When I will save this one, now you can able to see this one. Now, is this clear? ID return us the exact, yes, and
Okay, does 0 refer to the first class with my class name in
First
the
collection.
HTML body?
Collection. Yes, first collection of the HTML body. Okay, first collection. So it's a 0. Why it's a 0? It started with a 0. Remember, when it comes to class, it started with a 0. If we copy the same thing, right, my class, okay, I will copy the same thing, and instead of ID, I will add 2 here. See, these two are the same, right? So then I will save it, and then again, if I remove all these things, I save this one, and then if I go here, again the HTML collection came up. So now there is a 0 and 1, right? 0 and the 1. So if I open this particular one, you can able to see that ID2. So that means the second one is considered as 1 list. The first one is considered as 0 list. So in a simple way, we need to remember that when it comes to class, it always return HTML collection. That one is started from 0, right? The first div is considered as a 0, and the second div is considered as 1. Now, did you get the point for this one, why we need to add this 0?
Yes.
Any question? Hanaf and Jubair?
No, miss.
Okay, so this one is actually we go, depth of the code to understand how this variable is holding, right? What the value that this one is actually taken. So then we can add, suppose if I wanted to change this one now, what I can do? Anyone can suggest me the code? Suppose I will remove all the, I want to comment everything. Now I want to modify this one. Who can able to help me? Document.
Document dot get element by class name,
Yes, by class name. Then
my
we will,
class,
okay, my class.
then one dot inner HTML.
Yes, 1, because it started from 0, right? And we're targeting the second one. So it's the inner HTML, and then we're gonna, so if we save here, then we can able to see what it is. Hello world 2. Okay, so I think we're familiar with the class and ID, how we can use ID and class to modify the element in the HTML. Now we will focus on the tag name. We can also use tag name. So here I wanted to first see like what the tag name is returned. What does it mean by tag name? Anyone can help me with this? What does it mean by tag name?
The div or p thing.
Yes, this one is called tag, right? So then I can add here, which is document again, document dot, see, they're already suggesting us, which is document dot get elements by tag name, which is div. If you look here, we have in total, we have 4 div, is it? So div. So if I run this one and then I console this part, I wanted to see first what type of things they actually return, right? When it comes to tag name. So then name, right? Okay. Tag name. Tag name, right? See, tag name also return the HTML collection. So in total, we have 4 div, right? So 0, 1, 2, and then 3. So first 2 div contain ID, second 2 div contain class. Is it?
Yes.
Okay. Now, can anyone help me? Like if I wanted to now change the second div, what I have to do? Or oh, it's not second, sorry, the third div. I wanted to change the third div. Anyone can help me? Suppose I remove all these things. Now I wanted to change the third div. So I will take this one, add it here. Then third div means third div. What number I have to use?
Two.
2. Yes, correct. So it should be 2 dot inner HTML and hello world 3. So you can able to see now this one changes, right? Now, I think it's clear, right? ID, class, and tag name difference, how we can able to target a certain element or text. Clear, right?
Yes.
Any question? Any question?
In the first variable declaration, where we declare the new ID, what will happen
Yes.
if we don't add the inner HTML part at the end?
Okay, we can just remove the inner HTML part and the end, and then you can able to check. This one is okay. See, new ID, they give you the return div as well. So when we add inner HTML, we're targeting the middle part, right? If you don't add the inner HTML, that means you are targeting the whole element
Oh,
with div. See, I already explained, is it? So that means document.get element by ID means you are taking this whole thing. But when we add document.get element by ID dot inner HTML, that means you are targeting this part. Okay, clear this part?
yes.
Okay. Now, you said one thing, which is when it comes to inner HTML, it is targeting only the content inside the div. Is it? So maybe if I change this one to P, and then we want to see, is it target the P as well or not? So P is the paragraph tag. I think you all are familiar with it, is it? So P, then we will add my para, okay, as an ID. So what we can do here, this one is document.get element by ID. I just remove this code because I want to modify this one now. So instead of my ID, if we add my para with the hello world, then we want to see is it able to change the P tag as well or not. So if I run, yes, it can also change the P tag as well, right, Adil? So this particular code is not only workable with div, it can also workable with any type of tag as well.
Okay.
Okay, Jubair and Anaf, is it clear? Yes, Adil, you want to say something?
No. No.
Okay, I think this one is clear, right? You must need to submit the worksheet as well as whatever code I did today, right? You will get the recording, write down all the code and you need to show it to me to the next class. Because when it comes to code, okay, when it comes to JavaScript, if you don't do anything, you basically don't understand anything. A simple concept, right? And this one is the basic one. So when you will go to the advanced one, they will combine everything. So if you are not clear with the basic one, when they will combine everything, it will be more confusing than this one, right? So this is necessary and this is must that after each class, you need to work with the coding, whatever we did inside the class, and also need to submit the worksheet as a homework. Okay, then we will move to the next part. So that one is web selector. Okay, so there is another way we can also target the tag, which one is called query selector. So we will see how the query selector work. So we learn about the document element, get elements by tag name, class name, and ID, right? Okay, so now we will move to the next part. And we also learn about how we can declare a variable and we assign something to the variable as well a little bit. Okay. So if you go through the notes, you can able to identify that there is some other JavaScript keyword they uses. One is which one is called document dot get element. Sorry, get document dot query selector. Query selector. Inside the query selector, we can also suppose I wanted to take class. So inside the query selector, when we wanted to target a particular class, we need to use full stop, the same way we did in CSS, okay? So full stop, and then we will take my class here. So this is the format, okay? And then when I will target this one, save this one, and I wanted to see which one is actually changes. Everything. So it changes basically the third one. The third one, right? So remember one thing, when it comes to query selector, they actually take the first element. Suppose if you have the my class 5 times, you uses this class 5 times in a HTML, but they will only take the first my class. So that's why if you look at here, I already added the my class 2 times, but it targeted to the first element. So this is the work for the query selector. Now, is it clear, this part? Any
Does it
question?
only select the first one?
Again,
Does
Adil?
does it only select the first one? I mean, is there no way to select the target the second one with the query
No,
selector?
no, this one is always targeted the first one.
Oh, okay.
If you add my ID, suppose if I remove this one, okay? So when it comes to ID, how we can target this?
Hashtag.
ID. Hashtag, yes, like this way. So this one will also target the C. I have the similar ID name, right? If I load here, just targeted the first one always. Now, Anav, again, your question came up. So, okay, we can do all the thing by using the get element ID, tag name, and the class name, but why we need to learn this one, right? We need to learn this one as well. It's because it is included in the syllabus and we don't know what type of question can came up, right? So when it comes to the exam question, they actually give you some of the code and then they won't give you some of the code, similar like that. So they will give you some of the function and they will make it blank. So you have to write the code. Is it? So everything is connected and sometimes they will tell you to identify the error. So suppose they created a code by using query selector and you don't have any idea what does it mean by this, and then you cannot able to identify what is the error, is it? Right? So that's why we also need to learn everything which is written in the syllabus. So this is the query selector. That means it is only selected the first element. Now we will move to the last one. That one is called query selector all. So how the query selector all works? All means obviously it will take everything, is it? So if we added the div, you can also add the div tag as well here. Suppose instead of this one, if I add div, then we can see how it works. See, it also changes the first thing, right? So you can also use the query selector with the tag name as well. Now, when it comes to the query selector all, that one is basically take everything which is related to div. So if we add again document dot query selector all, see, because they also all, when it comes to all, they also send you an HTML collection. So that's why they use as a one as a suggestion. So I wanted to add div. So I just wanted to add div. And then query. See, query selector, when it comes to query selector, right, it send you in a node list, HTML collection, and this one is a node list. So when it comes to node list, it's the same thing. It also started from 0, 1, 2, and 3, right? All the div. So that means if we wanted to target number 1, we need to add a similar way, which is this one, is it? 1 dot inner HTML. So when I will add inner HTML, see, remember one thing, when I add inner HTML, this one is actually means that I wanted to target this one, right? I'm targeting this one, but I'm not changing anything. But if I add the same code, here, and I added equal sign with the hello world to, what does it mean by this? Because one equal means you are assigning the value, is it? The right thing are assigning to the left part. So this particular things means they're targeting this portion, and then I wanted to replace this one with this. So this is now assigning to this, and this one you can able to, this one is targeted to this. Now, any question regarding this?
Can we
Adil,
select more than one div? I mean, in the query selector all, we selected
yes,
the second one using the index
one,
one. Can we select
yes,
more than one?
more than one, no, cannot select more than one. Because you see, if you select more than one, then you cannot able to, change. You can select, like suppose you can just need to write the code like this way, and then you can change it to this way. Okay, so together is not possible, but sometimes what happens when it comes to node list, right? Inside the node, some other node came up, so there you can add another index. So that's the difference. We will learn that one later, but currently no. Okay, not possible. So
Okay.
this is the final.
Okay.
Now, okay, now today what we learn? We learn how to add a console log. Anyone can tell me what does it mean by console log? Then we
Output
learn
something.
to, yes, console log is basically if we wanted to debug something, right? So debug something to the inspect, right? Here, this one is called developer tool, is it? So here we will actually, like what our variable is holding the data, we try to show everything here in the console. Okay, in the console, do you remember the element one? In the element we mostly see the HTML and the style. Here in the console we see the console log, like whatever you will add inside the console or whatever the variable will hold by using the console, you can able to see it in the console log. Clear this part, right? So what a particular
Yes.
variable is, how you can able to say it, you need to do a console log, right? Otherwise you cannot see anything in the body. This one is basically the body, right? We cannot show anything related to console log to the body, what variable is holding and all. So we are showing here. And then we do some testing. Okay, if there is some value, because if you see when it comes to the class name, we don't know, right? What type of things they're actually, what it called, they're printed. So what we did at the first time when we are trying to print by using the class name, we can't able to modify the inner HTML. So that means suppose as a beginner, I don't know how to do it. So I added the inner HTML because I know the this way IDs changes. So I tried the same way with the class. But then I identify this is not working. Why this is not working? So if you do the console log, then you can able to identify, right? That HTML, when it comes to the class, it send the HTML list, right? So that's why we need to came up with the index value. Then you can able to target a certain element. Then we learn about get element by ID. We also learn get element by class name. We also learn get element by tag name. Then we also learn selector and the selector all. Now, any question?
Miss, could you explain the query selector part again?
Okay, query selector. Okay, see, when it comes to the query selector, did you understand the query selector or query selector all, Jubair?
Query selector, I didn't understand.
Okay, see. So the query selector is nothing, right? What we did before, we added get element by ID, get element by tag name, get element by class name, right? Instead of writing specific this way, we can also use a document dot query selector, and then here you can add the tag name, you can add the class name, you can add the ID. So when you wanted to target a particular tag name, right, you need to add div or maybe p or maybe span, is it? So it will always target the first element. Suppose if you when I like if you look into this particular code, we're targeting div, right? How many div are there, Jubair? 1, 2, 3, 4. Is it 4 div?
Yeah.
Okay, so that means whom it will target then? It will target the first div, is it?
Yeah.
Okay. Now, when it comes to the ID, instead of div, you can also target the ID as well. So you have to use the similar way we did in class. So hash my ID. And then when I will save it, we have two, right? Which one it will target? Jubaya?
The first one.
First one,
Both of them.
yes. This one. No, 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 no. Query selector always target the first one, this one. Okay. Now, if we look at the class, so when it comes to the class, I think you remember, right? In the CSS, we add the class which is dot my class, right? So now if I save this one, can you tell me which one it is targeted now? We have two class.
And the first one.
The first one, yes. So that means by using query selector, you can add inside the this is called parenthesis. Okay, this first bracket is called in a coding language, this one is called parenthesis. So in this parenthesis, you can add either class, you can add either ID, as well as you can add the tag name as well. Okay, now if I go here, you can see the hello world is changes this line, the first one right here. So is it clear, Juvaid, the query selector? Simple
Yes,
thing.
Miss.
Is it clear? Okay. Now, what about the query selector all? Did you get understand?
That's for me to.
You understand this one, is it?
Yeah.
So can you explain me a little bit what the query selector all do?
Basically, it will target all of the elements with. So how do I say this? It will
Yeah, yeah.
target all of them.
You can
And
Bangla as you can
okay,
tell me
sure.
in Bangla as
I'm
well.
not comfortable with Bangla, but okay. In query selector, we can pick an element. And instead of choosing the first one, it will choose all of the elements with the same tag name,
Mm.
and we can make changes too.
Okay, so basically when it comes to query selector all, it actually targeted the all element with the same tag name or same class ID or same ID, right? That's why we need to add the index value here, which is 1, 0, 2. So whatever index you will target, they will actually modify that particular index value. Now, clear, Jubair, this part?
Yeah.
So they basically send us the list. Class, send us the list. Tag name, send us the list. Then comes to query selector, all also send us the list, right? Only the ID is the one which is not sending the list, only the specific element. Hanaf, any question from your side?
No.
Is it clear? Any question or anything? Okay. Okay. So for the next class, one homework that I already gave you, which is one of the worksheet. So there you have to use this is all type of things to do some changes. But before that, maybe finish another part. So suppose now we will move to, because whatever we learn, which is related to HTML modification, now we want to like do one of the single code. This is the last one, which is style modification, right? Style modification means, suppose I wanted to color this one red color. Okay, this one I wanted to make red color. So how I can do it? Document dot, then how I can
Get
target
element.
this one? Yes, get element by ID, right? Suppose I want to, because ID is the one which is targeted a specific element, right? So I will add get element by ID, because I have two IDs, so I will change the name here. Then my ID. Okay. Then instead of adding the inner HTML is basically inner HTML is HTML related things. Now we will shift to style. So we will add a style. Okay. Dot color equals to, see, red. So style means now we are working with the color. CSS, it's now red color. If you wanted to add the same thing, whatever we learn in CSS properties, the same thing we will add. Dot, you can add background color. Dot background red. See the background is red. I think this one is easier. Is it clear? This one?
Miss, my headphone glitched out for a second. Could you repeat what you said?
Okay. I said that when it comes to, because previously we learned about the HTML, right? The modification of the HTML text, right? So
Yeah.
now we can able to use the JavaScript to changes the style of the HTML element. So what we did, document.getElement by ID, then we take the ID dot style. So this one is a CSS related code, dot style, and after that you can add background, you can add color, you can add font size, all the properties of the CSS, and you can assign the value to here, right? So when we add style dot background equals to red, in quotation you need to add, right? That means this particular line is targeting to this particular line, right? And this one will changes to red color. Okay, so here instead of using my ID, you can also use my class name. You can also use by sorry, not my, you can also use by tag name, right? You can also use query selector, anything, but you need to use style dot background, or maybe style dot color, style dot the properties of the CSS. Now, any question regarding this?
I have two
Miss.
questions.
Okay, Jubair, no question. Yes, Adi.
We added dot background instead of dot background color. Does it like shorten every other CSS property as well?
Yeah, see, if we add dot background color, see, background color is also here, is it? We add
Oh,
the dot,
okay.
same thing, is it? Same thing. It's not actually the
And we
same
like
thing. Different. Yes, Adil.
all right. Uh, the second thing was, can we change more than one style in one declaration or in
Okay,
one line?
in one line. One
Can we
line
change more than?
we can able to do, but we will learn that one a little bit later. But or when it comes to IT, we can't. Okay, based on the IT syllabus, we can't. We just need to focus on this. So by using one line of code, we can only change one thing. Okay,
Okay.
we can. This is possible, but I think for now we don't need to learn that things. Okay. So if you wanted to
Okay.
change thing, you can just add the same thing here, and you can change the font size. Maybe suppose if I wanted to add the font size, and then here you can add the font size to maybe 20 pixel. So this one will be a little bit bigger, right?
Okay.
Similar. Okay, is it clear, this part?
Yes.
Okay, any other question?
No.
Okay, so our next class will be on Sunday. So remember one thing, in Sunday, first of all, there is homework that I gave. So who have exam in January? I think for them it's okay if you can able to do. I think Jubair, you have exam, right? Adil, I think Adil, you don't have any exam, is it? In
No,
January?
I don't. No.
Anna?
I'll try to
Anna?
complete as much as I can.
Okay, you can try, but if you cannot, it's okay. When it comes to Anaf, Anaf, are you there?
No. Yeah.
Okay, so that
I
means
don't.
Adil and Anaf, you must have to complete this worksheet now, right? That automatically changes the text inside the H1 element, right? I think you can able to do it. Then when it comes to the function related, right, just skip that part, the function part. Otherwise, I think you can able to explain what does it mean by all these things. External
What about
JS,
number four?
yes, Adil.
And I was asking about the number 4.
Code, this one, this code.
No, the question number 4. The adding
Oh,
an
question.
external GS.
Okay. Question number 4. This one, right? add external
Yes.
CSS. So when it comes to the external CSS, you can also add external CSS. Like instead of writing everything here, we can just add a maybe we can add mostly we are okay basic dot JS. Okay, see JS symbol came up. So this one is a now this one is considered as a external JS, right? Same way, the way we connect it to the okay, 1 minute. Take this whole thing and then we will shift it to basic JS. Okay, and then we will remove everything from here like this. Okay, and then we will add a source attribute like the images one, and then here we will add basic JS. This is the example of an external sorry JS. So if I run this one, then we can able to see is it working or not. Yeah, it's working, right? So it can able to detect is the did I remove? Oh, I yes, I remove everything. Now, is it clear this part?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
Oh, I had another question.
Yes.
In JavaScript as well, the spellings need to be American.
Yes. You mean the
The
variable
spelling.
name and all the tag name, is it?
I'm referring to the command. The
Yes.
JavaScript defines the spelling. They need to be in American spellings.
Yeah, yeah. You can have it. No worries.
And JavaScript also, what do you call it? Case sensitive.
Case sensitive. Yes, JavaScript is a case sensitive. Yes, correct. When it comes to the comment, right? Comment is basically nothing, right? Comment is not loaded on the code. It's just something which gives you some reminder. Suppose if you think about this particular code, right? I want to add HTML elements, right? As a node perspective. So whatever you can add, whatever style you wanted to add, that is actually not matter. If you wanted to add here any style, that one also not matter. But when it comes to the reserved keyword, right? One requirement is like when it comes to the JavaScript or any other languages, don't use their reserved keyword as a variable name. Suppose if you wanted to add here that var div. So this is actually not a good way to declare a name because div is a HTML element. Suppose you wanted to add var maybe document. Document is a JavaScript keyword, right? So this is not a good way to declare a name. But it's a little bit case, not little bit, it's a case sensitive means what? Adil, did you understand what does it mean by case sensitive? What does it mean by this?
The
Suppose
letters.
you
Oh,
yes, Adil.
I was referring to the capital letter, small letter thing.
Okay, camel case, is it?
Huh?
Camel case. Are you familiar with the camel case?
I'm afraid I don't.
Okay, see, this one is called one of the example of a camel case structure, which is
Oh,
started with a small and then as soon as the structure of a camel case, then they have a snake case as well, which is started with like this. Okay, so suppose most of the time we follow the camel case pattern. So this is the variable name, right? What does it mean by case sensitive is like suppose you use the same name, you wanted to you wanted to console log this particular name. You need to use the same name, which is my name. Instead of this one, if you add small letter n, it won't print the value for this one. So this is one of the example of a camel case. So whatever the name you are declaring as a variable, the same name you have to use for other purposes. If you wanted to work with a
Yes.
certain value, right? This one is an example of a camel case. Okay, other than that, any other question?
No.
So I think we can end our class here. And about this code, can you take a screenshot of this one? Basic HTML. Done. Then we can move to basic JS. Take this one as well. Or maybe I can also send you the code. Yeah. Okay then. See you on Sunday.
Okay, miss. Thank you.
Bye bye. Welcome.